Good afternoon, everyone. Just need to do a quick sound check. Do you hear me okay? Alex, my audio okay?
Yes, it is clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Welcome, everyone, to this session of the FM Launch Hour. Today, we're going to be talking about essential leadership skills for FM professionals. And like I always say, when we talk about FM facility management professionals, we're also talking about talking to everyone else, who works in this economy. We are trying to build skills, capacity in all of those who follow us, and all of our sessions are available on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of our channels. So please connect, stay informed by being linked to these channels. As you share in this knowledge, we also encourage you to uh, distribute it to your network. Pick up links from valuable sessions to, to your network, to your friends, to your colleagues, and let them watch and participate as well. Last week, we announced that the bonanzas that we started running since late August are still ongoing. We've moved past the 30%. Now we're still on the 20% bonus or discount, which will run till the end of November. That's a couple of days' time. And then we will now have the 15% that will run till 21st of December. That discount is going to be valid from 1st of December to the 21st of December. After 21st of December, you still have the opportunity to pay with 10% discount. Don't forget that if you are trying to take the installment payments options, 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, please start now. Don't wait. Some have started since last month. Just get set up on the platform so that these payments can start going out bit by bit, and you can have the opportunity of being in the class. You can have the opportunity of being in the class when the class starts. We also announced that two major changes. The first is that the FM Mastercraft 23, which was supposed to start on the 6th of January, will now start on the 3rd of February. This accommodation became necessary to allow those who would not be able to meet their financial obligations at the end of December or first week of January to do so during the month of January. So we've done an extension, and we are extending a whole day of free training that comes with certification for all those who will be able to make it down to our training center on the 4th of January, which is Saturday, the 4th of January. We enjoin you to invite those who have not participated in the FM diploma. That session is strictly for those who have not taken the FM diploma. Whether you have come to our free training before or not, doesn't matter. You have not taken the FM diploma, that session is for you. 4th of January is a Saturday. We'll start at 9 o'clock and we'll try to close at 4, right? If it stretches beyond 4 to say 5 o'clock, no problem, because we'll be providing you some lunch, some snacks or lunch that will get you by during the day. So we'll do all we can to make it comfortable. We'll give you as much knowledge sharing as possible. I will give you a certificate for participation. With that session too, we hope to talk more about career planning. So if you have people who they probably are not thinking about facility management, the careers are just stagnated. They're probably in a job they don't like, and they think of trying to make a change or shift or improve their lots in life. We're going to be talking serious life lessons in that session. So it's not so much workplace productivity. Some of the leadership skills you're going to be hearing in today's session will be taught there, but it's more going to be more practical approach to planning for your career. Uh, the kind of work you need to do on your CV, how to package your experiences, how to nail it in interviews, how to be good at the job when you get the job, how to make progress in your career, how to map your future. Basically, you're going to spend half of that day session purely on that, and then the other half is for the introduction to facility management. So those are the two things you want to focus on. Career planning, career management, as well as the introduction to facility management. So those are the key focus we're going to be having. So we want everybody to make the time to attend this session on the 4th of January. It is going to be strictly physical. We want to make it strictly physical. Coming on time because the seats are going to be limited. Our training center will only hold 100. Usually we get 100 in before 8 o'clock. And then, in previous sessions, we were forced to create a second batch or second training the next week to accommodate those who missed the first one. We will definitely have a recording. We'll make a recording available. So if you couldn't make it or you were here and you couldn't get a seat, and you missed the overflow, if the overflow is many enough, we'll have a second session. Otherwise, you go watch it on the video when we publish the video. Okay. But we'll not be doing a hybrid program. We're not going to be, beaming it live, on that day. So pay attention and please make it down here. It's going to be a monumental moment that I don't want you to miss. Okay. Today we're talking about essential, and then by the way, I almost forgot, on the 15th of December, we are having our 2024 graduation. More than 130 people have qualified for graduation this year, and we look forward to celebrating the day with them. Come, hear testimonials, feel the impact of this program in the lives and careers of people, and that will help motivate you and make up your mind about your next career move. We look forward to seeing you there on the 15th of December, on the 14th of December at the HRDC building, conference hall here at the HRDC building. It's going to be a fun, entertaining, and learning experience for everyone that comes. All right, essential leadership skills for FM professionals. We just want to talk about how leadership makes or breaks your career, makes or breaks your relationships. Success in facility management depends on effective leadership skills. Okay, so if you are the kind of person that always complains about how people don't like you, people plan against you, people plot to remove you, people don't listen to you, they don't obey you, uh, everything that is to work with you, and all kinds of people. You are kind of selective in those you can work with. Please pay attention because by the time you finish at this, in this today's session, there will be a lot of things to change about it. And by the way, people are not, people are not born to succeed in leadership, succeed in careers and their lives, while others are born to fail, struggle, or wonder. No, no, that's not the case. Everyone gets a chance to be made into something that they want. And so we're talking about all that today. Communication, interpersonal skills, uh, how to manage teams and motivate them to be high performing, how to think strategically, because that's something about leadership. You must be able to think strategically, align some objectives with the organization's goals, incorporate emotional intelligence into leadership practices, manage crisis confidently, ensure continuity of FM operations, leverage technology, and promote sustainable practices. And then everybody has a leadership style. How do you hone or develop your leadership style? So if you can guide your teams to effectively manage and maintain facilities, we say you're a good leader. But that is just one aspect, and it is one of the smallest aspects. You know, it's important that you have ability to take decisions strategically and align corporate goals and FM goals to be the same. FM goals should be aligned to corporate goals. Technical expertise is not everything. You must have interpersonal and communication skills to be able to show leadership. In fact, if you have very little technical skills, you can do well as a facility manager because people who have the technical skills, you know how to get into them. You know how to get information from them. You know how to prioritize their care and their welfare so that they can deliver on excellent jobs to you. You know how to communicate results orientation to them, and that is key to successful facility management. And then uh, you have so many stakeholders you work with in facility management. You cannot have some stakeholders who like you and some who don't like you. Your ability to collaborate with all stakeholders, understand what works for them, what they desire, what they want, and create a relationship that is win-win is key to delivering effectively. And so, because you now know that this leadership challenge is on you, you will be innovative and be efficient in how you utilize resources and achieve the goals of the facility management organization. Okay, so when you have a position, we say you are in management, right? Sometimes we wrongly assume that you also are a leader. There's a difference. If you have a position, you can be a leader. You can also be a leader when you don't have a position, when you don't have a position of influence over others. Now, if you can influence people, whether you're in position above them, below them, or at their level, you are a leader. So don't confuse leadership with management, saying things like, if I become the leader tomorrow, I will do things differently. The system is not working out because the leadership is doing that, or the leader doesn't do the leader doesn't do that. Those are the kind of talk I call complaints that are more of murmurings, right? Because as at wherever you are, if you don't see yourself as a leader already, you're not going to apply leadership skills. And even when you get to become a manager, which is a position above others, what you do at that point will not be leadership because you've not learned leadership. Okay? You've not learned leadership. You will be using more of management tools, more control tools to get people to do the thing that you want them to do. That is not leadership. Leadership is influence. Leadership is inspiration, right? So both management and leadership can lead to motivation. But the motivation that management brings is more of control, incentive, and penalties driven management controls. But the kind of control and influence and the results that leadership brings through inspiration and through influence are internal, they are not external. They are driven from within the individual. So, how do you get to that point where you can get behind the mind of people and then they begin to own the vision. They begin to own the actions and the steps that leads to that vision from within. They begin to drive their own innovation and creativity and start doing things outside, the box. They're able to bring in ideas now because they understand where we are going. They know you. They know the goal. They know the destination. And not just know, they want to now from within. That is leadership. Interestingly, some people are not in position, they're not in management, and they are leading. And there are quite a few ways that you can lead. For example, there are some people that they research things, they have solutions, they have ideas, and every time they present their ideas, people listen to them, right? Now, that is a leader that can influence people. that can drive decision, that can drive action. He's not yet in position, but people go to him and say, "Oh, please, I'm trying to do this. What do you think? Oh, well, check this, check this. Go and look at that. This is how to do it." The next thing he comes again the next day. "Oh, do you know how? Oh, yes, yes, I know. Look at this notes I kept about how I do it." If that group that has that person that seems to know a lot are having a conversation and they are not sure which direction to go. Once that person that seems to know a lot, you know, talks, everyone else will want to listen. In effect, he's now leading them, he's now driving the way they make decisions and the way they act. And yet it's not their boss. There are some that are just so caring, so charismatic. They just they just know how to uh, mingle and get in touch with people. Just that's extra, not so much, extra care. Being able to remember people's names, for example, being able to interact in such a way that people see that you want to know them and you want to care about them. When time comes to take a position on anything, they will tend to, defer to your reasoning because of that. And there are so many ways that you can become a leader without even being the boss. Okay. So that's ability to influence is what leadership is about. But more importantly, you are able to stay ahead, have a vision, accept and align with a corporate vision. And as you are moving in that direction, people see you moving in that direction and they want to do it. They want to go with you. Okay, so one of the key skills that you need to become a good leader is communication and interpersonal skills. Being able to express yourself clearly, openly, transparently is a source of power. There are some people that they just hide things in their heads. They will not say anything. No matter how you discuss it in their presence, they will keep acting as if they don't know what you are talking about. Because they think that by having a reserve of knowledge gives them the edge. And so when the chips are down, they want to swing in and ride the momentum to self glory. You can win, but they're just little battles here and there you are winning. The real war you are losing because everybody around sees you as a selfish, exploitative, parasitic person. And that's what you don't want to be. Okay. Being able to talk freely, being able to be transparent, being able to communicate with people, and also listen to what people are saying, not always building an opinion that you always dish out, not having a stereotype of who people are and what you think is the reason behind their thinking. Many of us are very good judges at what makes the person think that way or act that way when we don't even know the person enough. We're not even heard what the person is trying to say. So when there are conflicts, look deep into that conflict. You'll find that there's poor communication or sometimes outright lack of it. And some of us are not mature enough to feel the other person's emotions or feeling. We are so, filled with our own emotion, our own uh, feeling, our own thoughts, our own preconceptions, and misguided beliefs. It drives us to the point where we create a wall, and that wall blocks us, cages us into a box where we only see ourselves. That is disastrous for anybody, any career, any professional life, family life, or anything. Strong communication ensures alignment with organizational goals and clients' expectations. Some people just hear, I want facility management services, and they run and say, yes, I'm a facility manager, I know how to provide facility management services. They go and do proposal. You see, you've heard one sentence and you're already running to say you know it. Have you asked questions and questions and questions to get the person who says I want facility management services to break down exactly what he understands that to me. I've been to some, I've done some radio outings and TV presentations. And if you watch some of those interviews, you will find out there's a general lack of understanding of what FM is. So if somebody who is trying to buy FM services says, come and give me FM services, don't imagine that the person has the same understanding as you about it. Ask questions. So communication, you can improve your communication by doing two things. One, ask questions. Two, listen for answers. Some questions, some people have moved to the stage where they cannot ask questions, but they are still asking questions with preconceived answers. That's very poor communication. Ask questions with an open mind so that when the answers come, you'll be listening for answers, and you understand carefully. A leader is a problem solver. You make decisions, you solve problems. This elevates you very quickly. Okay, so critical thinking is a skill that will help you hone and grow your leadership skills. Being able to consider options, always thinking of alternatives, always thinking of the other side of everything. Something that may just seem so obvious, so directly, so this is it for you. And then just by looking at it again and breaking down what you want to achieve, what options you have in front of you, the pros and cons, the cost benefit analysis, and the risk of every option. That's critical thinking, basically. Just being able to lay things out. Many people find it very expensive. They don't even have the time. There's a problem, there's a solution. If you are like that, you can't be a leader because you are not doing critical thinking. In FM, there are times when you need to respond instantaneously. A service failure, a sudden service failure, leaving, an event in the dark, or people, struggling to breathe because there's no air conditioning out. All of those kind of things will require you to think quickly, right? We say think quickly, but you cannot also drop your analytical self. What does that mean? It means that before now, you already have your risk management plan, which often we call the emergency preparedness and business continuity plan. You already have that. Some of these likely occurrences, you have used the power of negative thinking to analyze them. And then you have outlined the kind of actions that you would take should they occur. When they do occur, you are not trying to act rashly at that point. Your analysis is very clear. This is the next step. This is the next step. This is the next step. I communicate. I take this action. I take this action. I communicate. I take further action, and so on and so forth. Problem-solving skills help identify root causes and implement sustainable solutions. Every time you solve a problem, if you encounter that same problem again, the expectation is that you have understood what caused it before, and you have taken some action to solve that root cause so that it doesn't happen again. And if it does happen again, your understanding of it this time leads to better decision making regarding how you're going to act on it. Analytical abilities aid in balancing operational priorities with strategic objectives. Your ability to analyze situations. And this goes across all aspects of your profession. You have two customers. You need to serve them at the same time. You need to prioritize. You need to allocate resources. You have a budget that is, that is tight or constrained. You need to decide how it will be spent. You need to decide what is more value for the organization at that time, for the naira you want to spend, before you go ahead and spend. Don't spend at time wondering what just happened, right? So every time you act at the shop floor level, at the day-to-day interaction level, which we call the operational level, you must have an anchor in strategic analysis that you have already done. You understand the corporate goals, you understand corporate objectives, you know how every action adds value to certain goals within those corporate objectives outlined. And then you have a set of decision-making tools. You now have prepared approaches to dealing with issues that add value. And then collaborative problem solving encourages team input and fosters innovative solutions. You have a team for a purpose. If you are the kind of person that wants to think through everything and tell the team what to do, go ahead. That's not leadership. Even if you hold a PhD and the next person in your team is a school leaver or even didn't go to school, every time you sit people down to analyze what needs to be done, discuss the risk, and put pen to paper on action plan, what you are doing is you are basically telling them you are empowering them. You are telling them it matters what they think. You are telling them their inputs will help you give them better directives, even though you're going to give them directives at the end of the day. Let them see that they have added some value to how you govern, how you lead. It will make you a more powerful leader. People listen to you more. Effective time management is very key to leadership. Delivery of projects on time, within budgets, and to the scope certified by the client is seen as competence that demonstrates your capability, your ability to deliver. Everybody sees that as something very valuable. You are respected for that. The way you allocate resources, manpower, materials, and money is also very important when assessing your leadership capability. Do you do things that are not so important and leave things that are very important undone? So that's prioritization. Everything you do has an impact on the results you're looking for. Are you focusing on activities that provide 20% of results or activities that provide 80% of results? That's ability to connect the day's activity, the action of now, with the results that you expect in a month, in a week, in a quarter, is very important. So you can use that to prioritize and decide what is more important at that moment. I can easily give you a query as a supervisor or a manager if I see that you want to do something good, but you have used too much resources and left something else that could have been done with half of that resource undone because you felt this one is an easy win. Let me really get it. The easy win or the low-hanging fruit may not be the ones that add value the most. The hard one might be. So go for it. Don't try to count, I did 1 out of 2. If 1 out of 2, if the one that you chose is the one that does not add the best value, then you've made a mistake in that 1 out of 2. Make sure you focus on the one that has the highest value or rewards of contributing to the corporate goals. And then delegate. Team members that you don't delegate to, they can't get better. Oh yes, I'll get it done. I'll draw up the schedule. Oh, the roster will soon be ready. I'll get this done. Let's have a toolbox talk. I will train on this. I will train on that. You are all over the team. Everybody are waiting for your instruction. And you think you're a leader? No, no way. No way. The moment you start distributing some of your responsibilities out, because of course you were hard already because you thought you are the only person in the team, forgot that others in the team also have brains. And in some cases, it's because you have made up your mind that they cannot add value. So you're not even contributing, asking them to contribute. If you've not even gotten past getting them to contribute, how will you even get to the point where you can actually give them work to do? How? So, oh, I cannot have break. I cannot have a leave. I cannot do this. It's because everybody are always calling me. Everybody are always calling me. It's just me that's doing this. And it's me that can. So, well, you are the problem. You are the problem. So you are afraid of. They'll make mistakes. Let them learn. Instead, communicate clear guidelines on how to do the things you want them to do. So you delegate clearly. They may stumble, but over time, when you see that they put in genuine effort and they didn't get it right, you don't scream your head off and say, oh, next time I'll do it myself. show understanding, try them again. Of course, over time, they'll mature into this style of leadership and they begin to do better. It doesn't mean that you won't find people who don't want to step up because they are used to free meals. Salary comes at the end of the month, whether they do extra or not. So if you want to do everything, just make sure that my salary is not affected. There are people like that. But if you are able to convince them with your vision setting and vision communication ability and get them on your side, telling them seriously to the point where they want to do it, then you are exhibiting good leadership. And proactive planning helps to prevent resource shortages and professional disruptions. You are here today, you are conscious of how tomorrow will look like, and how Mondays usually look like, and how Wednesdays are always very light in load. If somebody says, I'm getting tired, I think I will take Monday off. Can you please, take Wednesday off? The workload is not too much on Wednesday. You can rest on Wednesday. That kind of conversation is because you are seeing ahead and you are planning what needs to be done in a way that meets the entire requirements across the board. Leadership is not about you. Of course, we say it's about you because you have to first of all internalize leadership. But leadership is about your influence on people, starting with those above you. Leadership is not just about those beneath you. You lead those above you. If you don't know how to lead those above you, you have even a bigger problem than if you don't know how to lead those below you. Because you need people to believe in you. They'll give you the resources, they'll give you the approval, they'll give you everything you need to move on. They will even give you the kind of empowerment that helps to booster how you appear before your team to get them to work. When they make decisions above you, they will have consideration of you and your team and your department because you have proved alignment. Because that's one way to show leadership, to lead those above you. Have perfect alignment, understand where they are going, think like them, analyze like them, take decisions like them. That's the first thing. The second one is you must be able to show that you have competence, ability to make their work easy. So when you do things, they don't have to redo it. Before they wake up, you have done something that would have worried them and kept them awake all night. You've done it, you've shared it with them. You are showing competence and capability. And you're doing this selflessly. You will lead those above you because they will delegate strategic things to you. They will pull you into meetings and situations and pull you into positions that you didn't even think you were going to end because you've made their life easy over the years. Then the third one is integrity. Integrity has to do with trust. Integrity has to do with, honesty. If people know that they can, depend on you, give you things to be done, to do, and that you'll be transparent and open in your communication, and that you will not use selfish, greedy approaches to do things in a way that serves your pecuniary interests. They will not only give you work to do, they will listen to you. They will not only listen to you, they will act on your ideas. You know what it means for a boss to act on your ideas? It means you are leading them. So for your team, there's usually this mutual respect and team synergy when you make people feel they're part of the collaboration team, they're part of the team, they participate. But make sure that you have clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Because teamwork, leadership does not mean that people will now do whatever they like and say, oh, we are a team. Next person can pick it up, so I cannot pick it up. No, there should be a clear accountability. That's why we said communication is a very key aspect of leadership. Many leaders miss this point. We've been told that as a leader, people should like me. Therefore, I just want to be likable, and things are falling apart under your watch. You are failing. That's not leadership. Clear responsibilities and accountability. Set goals that are achievable. Make sure that everybody understands their roles in the achievement of this goal. And make sure that the communication is so clear that incentives and penalties are recognized. Everybody work towards it. And when the outcomes come, everybody knows how the outcome um, results will be shared. So you reward through incentives, mentions, gifts, whatever. But you also ensure that when there are penalties, you don't miss the implementation of those penalties. People are motivated when they know that you always do what you say you do. And then ensure that people can always improve. Learning new skills is something you must keep your team growing at. And of course, I'm the leader. Doesn't mean that I'm going to decide how everybody thinks. They have different temperaments. They have different personalities. It's going to affect how they relate with each other and relate with me. I'm trying my best to become a good leader. I'm trying to teach them to become good leaders so that they can relate with each other effectively. But once in a while, you're going to see conflicts, either between team members or between you and some team members. Open communication is the foundation of resolving it. Laying out everybody's cards on the table of conversation. And when you delegate tasks, some people don't have the capacity for certain things. Don't try to expose them. Sometimes you try to uh, prove that they are not good by giving them impossible tasks based on what you know about them. And then you alienate them. You create more hatred between them and you. And then empower team members by entrusting them with responsibility and decision-making authority. Stretch them a little bit. If people are not stretched, they don't improve, they don't develop. If somebody is doing just what is comfortable doing and you give them only that on a regular basis, that's not going to help that person improve. Okay, give them that stretch, but don't let it be a situation of public ridicule when they fail because you believe in them and you want them to do better. If they don't do better, work with them more. Strategic thinking and long-term vision, long-term planning. A clear vision aligned with organization's overall objective is key. As far as FM is concerned, we cannot have our own agenda in any organization, whether as contractors or demand organization employees. We must first spend time as head of FM anywhere to understand the corporate vision, understand the corporate direction. Make sure that you are able to replicate that in your departmental vision and strategic objectives. And the fifth future challenges and opportunities in the FM industry, integrate sustainability and innovation into strategic plans, foster a proactive approach to adapt to industry trends and evolving client needs. And this is something that's very important to note. Clients, they have the right to change their mind, and it happens all the time. It is your job to not only understand what the industry has to offer, but also understand where the client is going, how its preferences is changing, what is putting pressure on your client and organization externally. You need to understand all this so you can keep modifying your actions that respond to your understanding of that direction the client is moving. Now, so in the typical organization, there are all kinds of departments, training, commerce or IT or production or HR, just name all those departments. The facility management business unit or department is in a unique position because while every department, including the FM department, needs to understand corporate strategy and create departmental strategy that mirrors and aligns with corporate strategy. The FM department is the one that now needs to also understand the strategies of each of the other departments and make sure that its own strategy mirrors and aligns with them. So it's double alignment you need to focus on. You can't say you understand corporate strategy or doing everything to help the corporate succeed and excel when core departments in the organization are moving in directions and you are moving opposite their direction. They are supposed to be, aligned to corporate goals, and you are supposed to be aligned to their own departmental goals as well as corporate goals. You are the ones that create the harmony between what they want and what the organization wants. if there's a misinterpretation between you and them on corporate objective, you defer to them because you are trying to help them enhance, enable, success with whatever they want to achieve. So you are not in competition with them. You're not you're not trying to argue that you know better than the IT manager or the marketing manager. No, you can't know better than the customer, to be honest. Okay. So that collaboration will help you ensure that FM objectives support broader business strategies. Okay. And so you must find ways to measure FM, goals achievements. When you measure using key performance indicators or a balanced scorecard that reflects contribution to corporate strategy. So you're going to have corporate strategy, and if there are metrics the organization is measuring to show whether it's growing or not, your FM department measurements should be pointing to how it's adding to certain metrics at the corporate level. So we said leadership is from within. You work on yourself to become a good leader. And when you use leadership, you influence and inspire others, which means you must now move from, yourself to awareness of others around you. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. Your own emotions, how do they impact your leadership style? If you're shy, soft spoken, you tend to bottle a lot of things, and at some points you lose it. But self-awareness and the awareness of others will help you to recognize what's about to happen or what has been happening, leading to such outbursts, for example. So you must develop self-awareness to manage emotions and respond appropriately in different situations. But in terms of your interaction and relationship with others, the key to it is empathy, ability to understand people, ability to stay, swap positions with them and see things from their viewpoints. Easier said than done, I must say. But if you do this, you'll be able to improve communication, collaboration, and avoid or resolve conflicts. It also helps you to cultivate resilience and manage your stress level because you are helping to create a positive workplace environment instead of one that is toxic. And by the way, when I hear people say an environment is toxic, I always ask them, what makes that environment? You are in the system. And if you keep saying the environment is toxic, why am I not doing anything about yourself and your reaction to that so-called toxic environment? Then I know you are the problem. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. Start by building trust and rapport with team members. Demonstrate empathy in everyday interaction. Listen actively to understand others' perspective and respond with compassion and understanding. Sometimes we are so engrossed with ourselves that we don't even hear what people are saying. Somebody's saying so we're not hearing it. We might be patient to allow the person to finish talking. But we didn't process anything. We continue from where we stopped based on our preconception. And for those who are in managerial positions, I'm not saying leadership because really, if you become a leader, you have learned to rein yourself in. You've learned to look at yourself and say, this is my natural disposition. This is how I would normally react. But how would a leader react? I mean, there are times when things just go out of hand, in an extremely and insanely dysfunctional way that you can't even fathom or understand where to start from. The temptation to lash out, to go into outbursts or rage is very, very high. Even among the very best of leaders, once in a while, you see them blowing steam, especially showing tantrums when such happens. But every leader surrounds himself with people who he has groomed to become leaders over time. So even in that moment of imperfection or failure, there is empathy from those he's leading. People can see that as, well, this doesn't happen all the time. There must be something we can do better. And then they step up the game and get things done better. Of course, if you come out of such a mood, you should also recognize that a blunder has happened in your reaction and find ways to fix it. Use empathy and self-awareness to motivate and inspire teams, creating a positive and productive work environment. There are times when you need to manage change, walk a team through change. Change is always not desirable. Always. Humans by nature wants to remain the way things are done. That's just our nature. But there are times when you need to make changes, strategic changes, operational or tactical changes. But you can't force the change through and expect it to work. Change has to go through a collaborative process, clear communication, setting the clear direction with milestones, and asking the opinions of people in the team and getting that opinion aligned fully before you start driving the change. So the actions that you are taking will not be running contrary to anybody's expectation because the expectations have been effectively managed. What if things go wrong? Emergencies, crisis, risk manifest themselves. Stay calm and composed, provide clear and decisive communication to the team during emergencies. Prioritize safety and ensure that all emergency protocols are followed by the team as stakeholders. Sometimes some of us are just so overly concerned about our reputation that we throw caution to the wind and we start trying to muzzle or suppress information than deal with safety issues around an emergency. Quickly assess the situation and make informed decisions to mitigate risk and minimize damage. Lead by example, showing confidence and encouraging others to stay focused on finding solutions. Maintain flexibility and adapt leadership strategies as the situation evolves. Leadership also means that you must embrace innovation and technology. I know, people who still compose and write things and produce, stuff strictly from their mind because they used to be very good. AI is not going to replace you. AI is supposed to be a tool for you to get things done. You can't be using calculator nowadays where simple spreadsheets can also calculate so many things by inserting formula. I don't understand why you want to go to the Stone Ages. There's no way you can lead people into the new era of technology and technological advancements as a leader when you yourself cannot embrace those technologies. So you must begin to re-examine your thinking around technology. And then we're in the era of data. Data is the new oil, they say. Wealth is in data. Performance improvement is in data. What is data? Information, aggregation of trends and analyzing operational activities in numbers and making decisions about the next action and the next step to take, including next strategies to set based on trends and things you've gotten from historical data. It helps you predict. It helps you plan. It helps you to allocate. It helps you prioritize. It helps you prepare for likely risk because you are using the data to make decisions. And then sustainability. Sustainability is not just a fad, it's a current reality. The world is moving away from the wasteful, unsustainable approaches into more sustainable approaches. And Leaders must be at the helm. We must lead at the top of this. You cannot be doing things in a not sustainable way, wasting energy, wasting water, not having meters to meter things, not having the necessary data to show that you are reducing waste and removing redundancies from your system. Then you are not being sustainable as a leader. So not all leaders are the same. And this has led to some. I've been in some arguments. Every now and then. My leadership style is not your leadership style. Someone may not like the style, and you, while trying as an individual to moderate, modify, and adjust your styles according to the maturity level of those you are leading, you cannot be all things to all people. So, as a simple guide, and encourage self-reflection to help leaders recognize their natural leadership tendencies and areas for growth. You want to be able to be self-aware. And to be self-aware, there are certain tools now that we can use. Braids, DISC. There are so many psychometric test analyses that are found online that you can just, fill the form, and answer the questions, and it gives you an interpretation of your personality style. Every personality style can be a leader. There are certain adjustments and adaptations that needs to be done, but you cannot be the same with everybody else. Okay. And so if you are building your leadership skills, try to not try to change yourself to something you cannot even recognize. No. Find ways to become a leader that understands your temperaments, how you will likely respond, and the ways you can modify those responses to produce the best results. And then let people talk to you. If you leave a team without using their brains for too long, what you end up with the brains that are dead. You might be filled up with just whatever they eat. There'll be no ideas in there anymore. The worst part is the day you are now, stumped or looking for somebody to say something that will, jerk you back, or you just want to get an idea, they now open their mouths. What they will say will be very terrible. In fact, it will be a conviction to you that, thank God I'm not even asking them to talk, which will be a vicious cycle. So continue to explore that, regular feedback, that regular interactions, both with you, between you and the team, as well as within the team, because it helps them to improve. Openness. If you have someone who must be the only one that knows something, must be the only one that can do it, does not teach it to others, does not carry others into that's how it's done, does not want to share my success with others. Find a way to get rid of that person if you're a leader. Wish him well. Let him go and be, a silo wherever he is. But before then, do all you can to help him change. Open up. Open up. Be transparent. And training is very powerful. Having regular training sessions, participating in sessions like this can help you have more, openness and be able to interact with others more freely. And ensure that there's continuous learning within your team. It's not just enough to have reports that only report on work. No. Let reports also report on how they are improving. What are you learning? What certificates are you earning? What skills are you acquiring? How are you using them, both for work and the life that you live? Let that concern for the individual growth be significant in your management or leadership of the team. All right, so leadership is vital for team management to guide teams through challenges and ensure operational success. Continuous learning and development enhance leadership skills, helping FM professionals adapt to evolving industry demand. Feedback mechanisms are essential in refining leadership styles and improving team collaboration, and performance. Personal leadership styles should be recognized and leveraged to foster a work environment where team members thrive. Investing in leadership development contributes to long-term organizational growth, ensuring sustainable and efficient facility management practices. These are what we have talked about today, and I hope you noted a few things that you're going to act on and be better on. So that's our session for today's lunch hour. I will now allow anyone who has a question, comment to make to do so. And then I'll encourage you to join us on our WhatsApp platform, connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. We're everywhere. We even have a page on Telegram, Max-Migold FM Training and Business. We have a group on Facebook, FM Business and Training, also on Facebook. And then we have the WhatsApp platform that we have always shared. So if you want a soft copy of the training, we're going to be sending a link. I don't think that's ready today. The team has put together an arrangement where they would make the slides available to everyone who wants it. So look out for that. I believe that program is on course, and you'll hear about it either through email. So watch your emails, and I'm sure you'll start getting access to them. We put all of them in our learning management system and give you access to them. Okay. So we're not I think we can't pick up emails this way. So okay, I'll ask the team on Max-Migold team to pick up these emails, but that's not how we're going to pick up the emails. It's going to be too tedious to pick up emails this way. We'll drop a link in the groups, WhatsApp and Telegram, and send emails to those of you already in our CRM. So we'll start from there, and then in subsequent sessions every Thursday, we'll be dropping the link here that you can be using to connect. Okay. All right. That's all for today. See you again next week, Thursday. Bye-bye.